Hi, and welcome to the Auspicious Agile video blog. This week we're going to talk about patterns in scaling Agile. This is John Okoro. I have many conversations with customers and people working with scaling and working in for business agility. And to understand how we do that, we're going to look at some patterns of how we achieve uh, business agility and enterprise Agile. First, usually it starts with an Agile pilot, where we have an Agile pilot team or teams that a company starts with. And then they might start working with multiple teams often. So they'll move from those pilots to having multiple teams and multiple agile teams in the organization. From there, they move to agile programs. And an agile program has multiple teams in it, and they're in alignment as well. So there's additional components there. And then from programs, they move to portfolio, the ability to have multiple programs and to fund and to be able to lead those programs in the organization. And then that leads to really the goal, which is business agility, the ability to respond quickly to the market, to be able to respond to competitors, and to be able to move fast and continuously innovate. So let's start at the agile pilot team level. So often organizations will start with a pilot team running Scrum, XP practices. And in America, in the US, this is something that organizations have been doing fairly successfully and moving beyond that from pilot teams as a starting point, having one or two pilot teams and expanding it in the organization. In Asia, and particularly in East Asia, what we see is that pilot teams are more common now where organizations are starting to experiment and try Agile and have pilots with their team. So they have one or two teams that they put in place, again, doing Scrum, doing XP, doing Kanban, possibly as a beginning point. And then, in the second point and step, they move to an actual set multiple Agile teams. So now these multiple Agile teams are running some initiatives and they're actually able to start to have some good concept. They've already got flow. They're starting to be able to pull and do pulling their work and to understand what the right things are for them to build, the right ways to build it. And the teams are starting to have more ownership in their work, and they are actually starting to work in a very agile way. Unfortunately, many organizations plateau here. So there's no alignment between the teams. The teams are working in an agile way. They have scrum teams, but they stop at this point, so they don't fully realize the benefits of agility. Now, if they move beyond this, the next thing is going to be to move to programs. Now, programs have more complexity because programs actually do have multiple teams, but unlike just having multiple teams, you actually have dependencies and alignment and a cadence between those different teams. Let's look at that. So we have one, two, three, maybe 10, 20, even 50 teams. I've worked in organizations with that many. And those teams are all working on a cadence together to deliver something at the end of their increments where they're having something they can deliver to the market or it's potentially shippable. And all of them have to work in a cadence where it's all aligned and dependencies are in place for them to be able to deliver. So there's more complexity than just independent teams at the multiple team level. Now, once we are able to deliver these aligned programs on a cadence, the next thing that we're going to see is then the ability to run a portfolio. A portfolio has multiple programs, so multiple multi-team programs all in alignment, and that agile portfolio is able to deliver multiple potentially shippable increments or program increments as the safe scaling framework calls it, and you are able to scale by having each one of those different programs able to deliver something to the marketplace. So now we're setting the foundations for business agility. And we're also able to look at our funding decisions. We can decide, are we going to fund one program or initiative? Are we going to fund another one? Are we going to make choices to pivot or persevere on each one of those programs after we've done our program increment? Is there more value somewhere else? So we can make some dollars and cents decisions. Now, once we've achieved that, we're really ready to set up for business agility, the ability to respond quickly to the market, to continuously innovate, to use some of the concepts and principles like lean startup and design thinking principles and enterprise lean startup practices that we're able to actually use for business agility, the ability to continuously innovate in the market, respond quickly to our competitors, and this is really what we're looking for. The goal of Agile is for us to respond and work well in the market, not just to have fast software development, even though that's a great byproduct. So what we have, let's take a look at a few notes on what we talked about, because there are some nuances and some interesting points that we're going to want to talk through just for a moment. First, when we have a small enterprise, let's say it's in Silicon Valley or in Shenzhen, those small enterprises, in many cases, they don't necessarily need to go through all of these steps. They might be able to achieve business agility much more quickly because they don't have a lot of the existing kind of legacy and other components of the organization that might make it slower and harder to move to at agility at a business agility level. Now, also, it is possible for some organizations, even larger ones, to be able to skip some of these steps, to move from having a pilot up to maybe a program. But it takes a lot of planning, tools, and a lot of support to make sure that this is able to happen well. There's a good book, Agile Business, that's Rally Software has written, and that covers a lot of the concepts that I've covered here in a very interesting way as well. So, till next time, stay agile, and thanks for listening.